Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Friday, the 10th of October. Starting off with the S&P, and here you can see that we've got the rising trend channel there from April after the tariff rug pull, and the floor of the channel there level with the 50-day line 65.25. That's the worst we're expecting any rug pull that we have now to deliver. We've got a bit of bearish divergence there, so higher highs in the last couple of days, or the last few sessions, and slightly lower RSI trace. Still well above the uptrend line in the RSI window, and obviously still well above the old resistance around 6,700 from the end of last month. So above 6,700, looking for a move to 6,900 plus by the end of next month. Otherwise, maybe some consolidation towards the mid 65s is on track. But at the moment, even though we are moving slowly, it still looks like a strong situation. Next up is the Nasdaq, and here we've been loyal to our April rising trend channel, the black one there. 25,600, the target there. Looking at that by the end of this month, and looking at that especially while we're on the right side of the price channel floor and the 50-day line, just below 24,000. If there is a spike, a fresh spike to the upside, it would be towards that red January resistance line projection, 26,400, 26,500 even, and looking for that by the end of next month. At the latest, while we remain on the right side of 24,000. Moving on to the stocks, and starting off with AtlasClear, which we have looked at previously and recently. Obviously, you can see there's been a bit of a rug pull after the push through the top of that rising trend channel base. We actually came back almost exactly to the floor of the channel, and the 50-day line there at $38.67, and the view at the moment, 38 cents on that one. Looking for this market to remain above the 50-day line, head back towards the top of the channel there at 93 cents, perhaps as soon as the end of next month. The reason for the relative optimism is the way that we've had a bear trap island reversal, so gapping down to a new low or a new near-term low, and then gapping up. So that does suggest that the bears have been caught out, and that we could at least try and fill that gap up to 65 cents in coming days. We've looked at the following stock. Quite a lot in the recent past, and here you can see, if I can type it out correctly, Baosheng. The situation here is that we've gapped up again through towards the main $5 to $6 area, and hoping that this time will be different in terms of an extended move up towards $7 to $8, basically the top of the range. But what is interesting here is that we've got multiple RSI bounces at and above neutral 50, which does suggest that this time we could actually be on a lasting push to the upside. That RSI indication probably unique in trying to predict the potential of a sustained move to the upside, a sustained, significant one. Let's see if it works. Ideally, now we stay on the right side of $4, whatever happens. Next on the list is Biodexa, and here we've obviously had quite a journey, but a rising trend channel base, top of the channel there, heading for $15.50, which we're looking for by the end of next month, especially while we remain on the right side of the broken late July resistance there, around $9.40. Let's do that, then we are looking for a move to the upside. Once again, we've had multiple RSI 50 and 50 plus rebounds since the second half of last month. That does suggest that this move, once again, could be a lasting one, something which is, as I said, a unique signal, especially if it works, obviously, in this particular situation. Interesting setup at the next company, and you'll see why. Bluejay Diagnostics. Here, it's a rather volatile situation, but what's interesting here is that we've hit the top of our broadening triangle there at $3 above that, looking for the upper parallel of that triangle as high as $5.16, and hoping for that by the end of next month. Ideally, especially after the recent RSI 50 rebounds, we stay on the right side of the 200-day line, $2.47, whatever happens. Interesting moves at the moment at new Era Helium, especially interesting given the way that helium companies tend to be a rather difficult, or tend to be an elephant's graveyard for traders, or investors. But here we at least hit the top of that rising trend channel towards the $3.20 level. End of day close above that, we're looking at $5 perhaps as soon as the end of next month. What's pleasing here is that we've broken the old September resistance there around $2.65. So pretty good risk reward there. We stay above 265 on an end of day close basis, looking for $5 on that. Next up is 9F, and here we've got amazing breakout for the shares. Once again, we've had a triple RSI 50 rebound, or RSI 50 plus rebound, and that was the harbinger of the move to the upside. Recent resistance at $3.26, above that looking for $7 as soon as the end of next month, hoping that this will get some further momentum in coming days. Next up is a stock which hopefully will deliver the goods for the bulls. Very similar chart to the previous one, and the similarity also in terms of the RSI 50 rebounds that we had actually last month, and then higher ones from August onwards. Top of the channel there, looking at a potential $6.60 target there by the end of next month, while we're on the right side of yesterday's support zone and previous support there from September. From October last year around the $3 area, so looking well set up there. Moving along to Seal, and here you can see that nice little breakout here again. We got the we've got all the positives, which are the RSI bouncing above neutral 50 2 or 3 times, and then also support at old resistance, which in this case was around $4.50 above that. We're looking for the top of the range and the top of the channel there as high as 870 by the end of next month. Maybe if we're lucky, even by the end of this month. It looks as though there's some decent momentum building there. On to the last two. The first one is SU Group, and here a bit of a rocky ride, but gapping through the 200-day line after bouncing off a rising 50-day line, which is something you see quite a lot above that 200-day moving average, at around the 784 level, looking for the top of the range and the top of that rising trend channel base at $16 by the end of next month. There was some resistance on the way down around the $9.30 level, and maybe that would be a stop loss for some who don't want to risk too much. Finishing off with Traws, and here another rising trend channel base, another RSI 50 rebound. In fact, RSI 50 rebounds, 3 or 4 of those in the recent past. That suggests the latest 200-day moving average break at $3.01 could be a lasting one, and that we can head up to the top of the channel there, $4.80 by the end of this month. Ideally, whatever happens, we stay on the right side of yesterday's support, around $2.52 on an end of day close basis. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.